roll initiative. For combat, it is a perception roll. However, each group rolls. So the person with the highest perception rolls for the group.
I have a 3.
You have a 3D. Remy has a 3D. So as the player, I'm going to have you roll. And then I will roll for the other group. The Nemesis here has a 2D plus 2.
11.
11? Alright, so Morrigan's group gets to go. So she gets to choose. Is Morrigan's group going to go first? Or is Morrigan's group going to go last? Since there's only 2 groups that are in combat. You can choose any number of actions. Thereby, if, for example, you choose 2 actions, each of those actions is a negative 1D. If you choose 3 actions, each of those actions is a negative 2D, and so on. You will do your first action first. Everybody will do their first action first. The opposing group will do their first action, and then we'll go back until everybody has done all of their actions. So, does Morgan's group want to go first or go last?
I think we want to go first.
Okay, so what is Morgan's group going to do?
Alright, so he hit the Troydarian.
Yep, he hit the Troydarian.
I am going to...
If you wish to just defend yourself, you can basically make a full dodge, which makes it so that not only do they have to hit the difficulty to hit you, but then you would roll, for example, lightsaber to defend yourself as well.
All right.
Now, you won't be able to redirect the blaster bolts, but I would allow you to basically deflect the blasters away.
All right. I will full dodge.
Okay. All right. So for your first action, is that going to be your whole action? You're just going to basically just set yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay. So go ahead and roll your full lightsaber skill. And we will add that to any difficulties they would have to shoot you.
10.
10. Okay.
Oh, 11. Sorry.
11? Okay. 11. Remy will do just one action. He is just going to spin and fire at the closest person. He sees a Nemoidian, the Trade Federation race. He sees a Nemoidian kind of in the distance. It is dark, however, so he is going to get some cover. But Remy is going to shoot his blaster of 5D at the Nemoidian. And he gets a 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 to hit the Nemoidian. The Nemoidian is going to get some cover, though. So it is poor light in here. So he's going to get +1 to the difficulty. All right. So Remy pops up, fires at the Nemoidian, and the Nemoidian kind of ducks a little bit, and the shot just goes wide. As the Nemoidian will return the fire to Remy. So he is going to... The Nemoidian is just a thug. So he is going to roll his 2 dice and blaster skill. He gets an 8 against the cover and everything that Remy has. So he has cover from the cargo box that he is behind. He has cover from the darkness. So we'll see if he even makes the difficulty. All right, he does not make the difficulty. The blaster shot hits the cargo box to no avail. However, the one that has been doing the talking looks towards you and fires his blaster. However, he is a little bit better. His difficulty is his skill. I'm going to roll a skill. Don't want to tell his skill to Ellen, however, since this guy has a name. He fires his blaster, and that is his difficulty is he's at medium range. So his difficulty will be an 11. However, because of Ellen's full dodge and lightsaber, he spins and shoots his heavy blaster at Morrigan, and Morrigan easily just kind of deflects it out of the way with her lightsaber. As this is a new round now. Do you want to try to talk? Do you want to try to continue the combat?
I want to do one more round.
Okay.
Because I have an idea.
All right, so it's Morgan. Morgan's up. So what's Morgan going to do?
Something that might get me in trouble. I want to use telekinesis.
Okay.
Which is... Yeah, that's alter. Okay. So 4D. I want to use telekinesis to disarm the talkie man.
All right. What page is telekinesis on?
It is on page 147.
147. All right. Okay.
I will... This seems kind of important.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend another character point. Really running through them tonight. I'm going to spend both of my character points that I can on this.
Okay. So you're spending 2 character points?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I am going to say that the difficulty is... It's 1, so it's easy for the weight of the object. However, I'm going to add to that his strength. So he's going to make a strength roll and add it to a difficulty. All right, and you've already spent all of what you're going to spend.
Yeah.
All right, so the base difficulty is going to be 6, and then he's going to roll his strength to add to it. And he rolled a big strength. So the difficulty now is 15.
Okay.
And Ellen has a lot of dice to roll. So it looks like she beat him in spades.
I rolled 6 die.
And she's adding them together now.
24.
All right, so Morrigan kind of moves her lightsaber to the side as she deflected the bolt from the talking man. She reaches out with her hand, and as the man starts to go to shoot her again, the heavy blaster pistol flies out of his hand, and Morrigan catches it. Or does she just throw it to the side? And we'll say you rolled pretty high, so we'll say that you take it and catch it. As Felix, seeing that, actually is going to just kind of cover the other one. He's not going to fire at him. He's just going to kind of be holding his blaster in the Nemoidian's direction to see what he does. Because he has been de-blastered, the talking man kind of stops. You see now in the headlights of the repulsor van a very large man, probably in his late 40s, very gray, almost white gray hair, very large stubble, kind of a barrel chin. Large man. You see that he's wearing clothes that are reminiscent of someone that is a swoop bike operator. He's wearing kind of heavy jeans to protect him from the heat of the swoop. He's wearing a leather jacket, and as he's kind of moving, you do see the hollow etching of what appears to be some kind of demon creature on fire. And on the back of it, in the language that is used by most of the people on Allmarsh, you see Nova Demons on the back of his leather jacket.
Do I, with my swoop culture knowledge, know who that is?
Go ahead and make me a roll.
I have 3D plus 1 in swoop culture under the streetwise skill, under knowledge.
Okay.
And 13, 14.
14. All right. You recognize you kind of quickly puzzle it together. You know who the Nova Demons are. They were a swoop gang that was not the nemesis of the Dragons, your brother's gang, but one that butted heads quite a bit. Mostly vying for the favor of Gruta, the hut that controls this planet and systems beyond. They were kind of in contention as the favored sons, so to speak. You recognize this individual as the lieutenant of the old, the leader of the Nova Demons. You recognize this individual as Cole Fogg.
Cole Fogg?
Yes, COLEFOGG. Cole Fogg. He was kind of the lieutenant at the time that you had last been here.
I'll just...
And as you kind of quickly look, you notice that the Nemoidian and the Toydorian also had the leathers that Cole Fogg is wearing.
All right. Are we still in rounds?
It's up to you. At this point, he's just kind of looking at you. You see that he's kind of slowly moving his hand to his side. However, it just all depends on what you do next. If you look like what does Morgan want to do? You see that...
I don't want him to reach for another weapon, but I'm just going to actually probably talk.
Okay. You see that the Nemoidian is kind of holding his blaster towards Felix, as Felix is doing the same. The Toydorian is slightly slowly moving, so he does appear to not have been killed. However, he does have a very bad wound that appears to be bleeding.
Fogg, tell him to drop it.
Drop the piece. And the Nemoidian kind of looks at him, looks at you, and looks at Felix. And he slowly sets it on the ground.
I would have your friend look after your winged buddy there.
He's not a medic, girl.
Well, then maybe he should put his hands over the wound so he doesn't die right here.
Fogg kind of looks over at the Nemoidian and just kind of nods. There's more coming.
I don't doubt that. What in the world are you doing here?
What are you doing here, Morgan? Yeah, I remember you. You were a lot younger then.
Yeah. I'm here because I'm trying to find my little brother.
They're gone. They did something they shouldn't have.
Like what?
Got punished.
Like what?
You go against the man. Man stomps you down. I don't know how your brother thought that he could have gone against Gruta. He should be dead. But he's not. He got lucky.
Gruda did this?
No, we did this.
You know full well what I meant.
Actually, I would have loved to taken credit for this, but no. They moved against Gruda. Gruda gave him up to somebody else. He kind of smiles at you, knowing that he kind of, even with you taking his weapon, he kind of feels like he still has the upper hand. Remy kind of slowly lowers his pistol, kind of just holding it at his side, but definitely ready if anything happens.
I'll deignite my lightsaber. Look, you were always rivals, but you were never flat out evil. Tell me where my little brother is. He's 12.
For that, you'd have to talk to Saffone. I don't know actually where your siblings are. For all I know, they could be dead by now.
Who's Saffone?
He kind of looks over at Remy. Remy kind of gives a knowing look to Fogg. And Remy says, he's a pirate. He operated out of Elrude for a little while. I don't know what he's doing here. Yeah. So, Morrigan, you can get out of town now if you wish. Or when our boys get here, we can take care of business. Smiling at you, his broad chin kind of almost cracking his mouth open.
Take care of the Todarian. We're leaving. I have business with this Saffone.
Tell your brother we said hi.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be thrilled.
Fogg kind of nods to the Nemoidian as he grabs the Todorian over his shoulder and just kind of nonchalantly...
Oh, bring him here for a second.
The Nemoidian definitely looks over at Fogg, and Fogg just kind of shrugs and says, sure. And he moves him over and kind of puts him on the on a crate close to you, and he says in Huttese,
I speak it.
what are you going to do?
I'm going to help him.
He kind of looks leerily at you and kind of...
I'm going to accelerate another's healing because I'm a good person.
Okay. Alright, what page is that on?
148. I don't think I've ever regretted being a good person more.
Alright, to make extra healing rolls. Okay, so basically you're just going to allow them to make an extra healing roll. You have accelerate healing, is that correct?
Yes.
What page is that on?
So accelerate another healing?
Accelerate healing.
Is 143.
Okay. So a Jedi uses this power successfully to make 2 natural healing rolls for the current day, regardless of the severity of the injury. The Jedi gets a +2 modifier for both strength rolls to heal. Alright, so basically what you're going to do is I'll say if you, depending on how well you do, you're kind of stabilizing him, and then he will be able to make 2 healing rolls at the end of this day.
Okay.
So the difficulty is easy, modified, however, by relationship for control. So you know this person Not at all.
No, you're right, I don't.
So the relationship for a complete stranger of another...
But it's not control. I don't roll control for that. It's sense and alter.
Accelerate another's healing is a control roll and an alter roll.
Huh. I put it under the wrong thing. Okay. All right, my bad.
All right, so we'll see if you actually are able to get this.
$12.
12. Okay, you reach out with the force to try to control yourself and move that control into the Toydarian's body. And you can feel the energy of the force kind of pulsing through you, but it does not release into its body.
Well,
you just don't know this creature well enough.
In order to save face, I feel like I have to do something else.
You can try to just bandage him up a little bit.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, so you grab out a med pack.
After I'll turn that into, me assessing the damage.
Okay, all right, go ahead and use a first aid check. You basically assess the damage with your
and he's okay, yeah, it's first aid. Okay.
So just go ahead and make a first aid check as you grab some stuff out of the satchel.
Alright, so 10, 15, 17, 18, 19.
19? Okay. So you kind of bandage him up a little. Fog kind of watches you as you're doing this. Kind of every once in a while we'll look over at Remy just to see what Remy's doing. The Nemoidian is eagle eyes on you, watching your every movement as you kind of bandage, at the very least kind of stabilize the Toydarian. As
then I'll turn to, once he seems stabilized. I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
No, go ahead.
Once he is stabilized, I'll just turn to the Nemoidian who was carrying him. Now he's stable to move. And I'll look up at Fog. We good to go?
Have fun. Good luck.
I'm going to take this with me. And I gesture to the blaster.
He kind of slowly nods at you. But he kind of gives you this look that you think that he'll get it back eventually.
I'll just shrug. And I'll back out the door.
Okay. Remy kind of backs out the door. Still with his blaster at his side. Still holding it with his hand. But not pointing at anyone as they kind of backs out with you. He will wait until you are fully out. And then he'll kind of jump through the cut door from your lightsaber as he moves out of the room, leaving the Nova demons to their injured.